This update for Walker Street Doctors will focus on Japanese encephalitis. We're increasingly being asked about JEV and vaccination in consultations, and I hope this summary proves helpful. Japanese encephalitis is a flavivirus related to the dengue virus. In Australia, there have only been 15 cases in the past decade, and most of those were in return travellers from Southeast Asia where JE virus is endemic. In these areas, most of the burden of disease is borne by children who are JE naive. Most of those cases are asymptomatic, and around 1 in 300 to 1 in 1,000 cases reach medical attention with nasty neurological symptoms such as fever, headache, neck stiffness, seizure, paralysis. However, in a JE naive population such as Australia, the bulk of disease would be borne by older immunosuppressed, vulnerable people. It has previously only been found in the northernmost tip of Cape York and the Torres Strait. In February 2022, JE was found for the first time in mainland Australia in multiple piggeries in New South Wales, Queensland and Victoria. It came to the attention of authorities because JE affects pregnant pigs and results in stillborn and mummified piglets. Adult sows or otherwise really show no evidence of disease. But actually the preferred natural host of JE are migrating wading birds, which have found their way recently to flooded areas of New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland. Mosquitoes prefer the birds, but pigs are also amplifying hosts, and humans are dead-end hosts, meaning that it can't be transmitted from human to human, and it can't be transmitted by eating meat from an infected animal. The mosquitoes involved can travel up to 12 kilometres, but usually only up to 5 kilometres, and they're not very competent at transmitting the virus. And they can only do so for 7 to 10 days. But of course, mosquitoes are abundant at the moment. There are favourable conditions ahead, with dropping temperatures, decreasing the population of mosquitoes significantly. But the mosquito eggs, unfortunately, are resistant to desiccation during the winter, and it possibly may re-emerge when the conditions are favourable again next summer. So we now have 20 proven cases in Australia and 2 deaths, 1 in New South Wales and 1 in Victoria. The best protection against this disease is protection against mosquito bites with DEET or oil of lemon eucalyptus, physical barriers, insecticide-treated clothing, and removing containers around the home where mosquitoes might breed. There are also 2 vaccinations. An inactivated vaccine, Jespect, that is given in 2 doses 8 weeks apart that cost around $75 per vial, and a live attenuated vaccine, Imajev, which has been around for about 20 years, given in a single dose and costs around $350, although I think that's actually very hard to come by at the moment. The vaccines and also natural immunity confer lifelong protection. So who should be vaccinated? At present, vaccination is recommended for pig farm workers, vets, abattoir workers, transport workers and their families, personnel who work with mosquitoes through surveillance programs such as environmental health officers, and lab workers who might come into contact with the virus. You might also, extend that advice to people who live within a 10-kilometre radius of a pig farm. But it's way too early to recommend population vaccination with dropping temperatures and dropping mosquito populations just around the corner. I hope that update has been helpful.